Assalamu alaikum, Bokai. Welcome back to the Jollof Football Bantaba platform. We keep saying the YouTube channel, but we are not only on YouTube, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and also, of course, on YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a while since you've seen us. Can you know this? Because I'm like we can be we were also unable to record the Gambia football show that we usually do on the weekend. Yeah, I think it was the last time I came here for the weekend recap. Was the last time I was online, or Jollof Football Whatever was online. But yeah, we are still around. They don't want I jafe see weekend be, and I've got schedule problem. Muninho arrange Muninho host the Gambia football show over the weekend. But hopefully next weekend we'll be back. On as usual, maybe on Friday too, we'll be back with the company space which we usually do on Twitter. Doing crazy work. But anyways, if you are watching us from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or any other platform, welcome back. As you know, every Tuesday we come here and have a little look back at the performance of Gambian professional players, how they fared over the course of the weekend. And sometimes we extend it to the previous midweek as well. And it was like eventful week. I would say there was a lot going on this weekend because of course the league seasons are reaching the climax. They are reaching the final stage. Most of the league seasons are reaching the final stage of the season, which is usually exciting because almost every team usually have something to play for. Most teams usually have something to play for, and it is no different for Gambian, professional players. Some players were fighting for their life. I mean, they are fighting for the life of the club to stay in the division that they are in. Some were fighting for bigger things like qualifying for European competitions like the Europa League, like the Champions League. All these things they happen in some way. Fighting to gain promotion from the second tier or the third tier of a division, and then moving up to the second tier. So it was an eventful week with tons of Gambian players, in action, but also having an impact with their respective clubs. In the past, we will be counting the number of Gambian players playing abroad as professional footballers. Nowadays, this number is so overwhelming that you don't even, you cannot even, follow all of them. That's why we have this program, the weekend recap, where we try to um, summarize the best performances and the most significant results or performances by Gambian professional players. We try to do that every week. It's not an easy task, but we just do our best and then bring it because it might be something that might interest our followers and our viewers. So if you like this content, if you like the weekend recap, please make sure you give this video a like and make sure you are subscribed to the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel, or you are following us on Facebook or on Instagram so that you will not miss whenever we upload or whenever we are live discussing issues about Gambian football and try to promote Gambian football at large. That is basically what we do. Promote Gambian football and also discuss the issues that we have as a country in our football. That's why we call the Jollof Football Bantaba. And I'm sure if you analyze the name Jollof, of course, where we come from, guys. You know that. And football is what we're going to discuss here. That is our interest. And of course, Bantaba is where, people discuss. Sometimes it may be me alone sitting on the platform talking. Sometimes, a lot of people sitting and then we having a discussion about Gambian football. But the bottom line is whatever we do is to promote Gambian football, Gambian footballers, and also discuss the issues about Gambian football and see how best to solve these kind of problems. That's what we are here for, guys. If you like that, make sure you are part of the family and join us. Join the Jollof Football Bantaba family, guys. Without wasting much of your time, guys, let's get straight into it. I was supposed to have an interview today, by the way. After the recap, I was supposed to have an interview with the vice president or the first vice president of the party or of a group that want to be the next um uh, like running, I would say, the, the the people who want to run women football in the Gambia. But unfortunately, I've not heard anything from the guy, and hopefully I will have him on another day to discuss their agendas, because there are two parties. There is the ruling one, the incumbent, the current vice president of the Gambia Football Federation, the fourth vice president of the Gambia Football Federation. His group, they are currently, running the Gambia Female Football Association. But there is another group who want to take up that role because they have an elective Congress recently, which did not end well. But they will have another one because that one did not finish. So they will have another elective Congress to decide who's going to run women football going forward. There are two teams there. I would love to talk to both teams to understand their ideas and their agendas, their development plans for Gambian women football. We know we are lacking behind significantly. Recently, we saw the under 20, they lost to Ivory Coast, home and away. And then, there's not a lot of significant development going on, especially when it comes to women football in Gambia. Like, I would say football at large, generally, but it is worst when you consider women football. So I would like to know what these groups want to bring to women football, and hopefully the better party will win. Whoever have the better agendas for women football, to promote women football, will win. At the end of the day, we just want the best for Gambia and Gambian football at large. Yes, guys, let's get into it. We start with the headlines today. We start with the headlines, and then I will pick one or two of those headlines, and then trying to elaborate on them a little bit more, maybe more than that. I feel like I usually do. But if you look at the weekend, I think we can start with Ali So. His club Trabzonspor were struggling at the bottom of the Turkish league. But thankfully they are safe. I think in last week they were safe, and this week they had a big win. It was a 6-3 win for them, and Ali was, as usual, he was on the goals. He's their talisman. He's their goal scorer. There was a time I said he scored about 40% of the goals that the club scored. Like, you have an 11-player team, and then if one person is scoring 40% of the goal, that tells you that he is actually the talisman of that team, and that's exactly what Ali has been doing for them. He scored his 16th league goal of the season. Like I said last time, he was vying for the Golden Boot. He was fifth in the Golden Boot race behind players like Osimhen, El Nasir of Morocco, those kind of players. He was behind them in the Golden Boot race. Piatek, the Polish striker, and he was fifth. And he added another goal to his name this weekend, his 16th goal of the season, and also added another assist. He scored one and assisted one in their 6-3 win. There were also a couple of braces. Mohamed Bada in Saudi second division. He scored a brace for his club, Abba Club. They won 3-0. Last week he also scored in their 1-0 win. I think he has found life. He has finally found a home for himself, because I think for the past few seasons, or last year or so, he was struggling to find a home, I would say, in football, because he went to on loan to Standard Liège. It did not work for him. He was not getting the minutes that he wanted. Before that, he was at Al Hazam in Saudi. They got relegated, so he was struggling to find a place to settle in. But finally, he is in the second division of the Saudi league, and he seems to be settling in very well. He's scoring the goals there. He scored one from the spot, and he scored another one to make it 3 for his club, and then adding to that what he scored last week. He's been pretty consistent with his goals, because I can remember before moving to Abba Club, I think the last time he scored as a player was for the Gambia, and that was when Jonathan McKinstry made his debut as the Gambia national team coach when we played against SS. When Bada scored those two goals, that was the last time he scored before he scored for our club. And after that, he has gone to standard layers where he did not score a goal. Went back to his club, Kuwariki, where he did not play, and then finally he is now in our club. So hopefully this will be something good for him going forward. He's somebody that has a different profile, different type of player when it comes to striking. And Jonathan McKinstry like him a lot, but in the end he could not persistently pick him because he was not playing. And nowadays Gambia, if you're not playing, they will tell you that he's not playing, he's not that, and then you have to consider your selection definitely when it comes to the players that are playing. And Bada, he was even named in the squad despite those problems. That shows you that the coach really like him as a player. So if he is doing well, I think it's good for the Gambia national team coach because he is a profile of a player that he likes. So yeah, long may it continue for Badamose. Yeah. Another player who scored a brace was Bamba Suso, a player who has been doing exceptionally well. He has a very interesting season, I would say. He scored his 15th goal of the season. He scored a brace, and that was his 15th goal of the season. He's only second to one player in the Slovenian second division. Only one player scored more goals than him in the Slovenian second division. So he has 15 league goals this season. And his club, Alumni, are the champions with one game to spare. So they have one game to spare, but they have won the second division of the Slovenian league, which means they are going up. They are going up to the fourth division of the Slovenian league, which is big for them, and also big for Bamba Suso for two reasons. Bamba Suso is on loan to Alumni. That is not his parent club. And of course, the chance to go up and then say his name. Last season, he was suffering from injury, made it very difficult for him to have the impact that we expected from him. But this season, he's injury free and he's banging goals, 15 goals in the league, and Alumni are going up. And his club, his parent club is an Italian club. They are Serie A club. As per 44 journalists, he plays for Pisa Sporting. They are a newly promoted Italian Serie A club. So they are going into the Italian Serie A next season. This is his parent club. Now, after his season of 15 goals, what will his club do with him? Because at the end of the day, he is doing what he's supposed to do as a player, as a striker. And that team is gaining promotion into the Serie A. Who knows? Maybe they need that type of striker that like he is. So it will be interesting to see what the club will do with him after this loan spell. If is he gonna stay in Slovenia, or is he going to the Serie A, which will be huge if he has to make that step up into the Serie A, top 5 leagues in the world after his season. It will be really a big step, but it will be really good for Gambia as well, because this is what we want at the end of the day. We want to see as many Gambian players playing at the highest level. The highest level of football, we know, is generally agreed that the top 5 leagues of the world is Italy, Spain, France, England, and Germany. These are the top 5 leagues. So if he is able to break through into that team and play in the Serie A, that significantly raises his profile as a footballer. And he'll be somebody we'll be talking about more often for the Gambia national team and all those things. So yeah, congratulations to him and Alumni for winning the Slovenian second division. And I'm wishing him all the best. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he's really in a good place right now in terms of his form and all that. So one more game to go for them for their season to finish, but they have already wrapped up the league. He is vying for the leading goal scorer, which is a little bit difficult for him to win right now because the guy at the top has 19 goals and Bamba also have 15 goals. So he's outright number 2. And then you have somebody on 13 and 14, 13 going downwards. So it will be difficult for him to score 4 goals or 5 goals to win the golden boot at the end of the day. It's almost impossible, I would say. But it's been a wonderful season. His team are going up. and he's scoring a lot of goals, which is what we want to see at the end of the day. And he's a good profile of a striker. He's a huge guy, big, scoring week in week out. That goal he scored, I think these two goals, that was his eighth goal in his last 8 or 9 matches, something like that. He has scored in every, like, on average 1 goal per game for the last 9 games that he has played. So it's been a really, really good season for him. Man, because Ajiu Kando. Bro, ni na la high, yaba. Yes. And then we move on to Mohamed Sane. Mohamed Sane, another player that is, I would say, important. He's important. He's been a regular fit in the Gambian national team. We know he has not been in the squad for a while, and the reason was that he was not having a club until during January. That was when he found a new club in Kazakhstan. like it's really difficult for me to pronounce the country. And yeah, the Jegalu, but yeah, he moved to Eastern Asian country, Kyrgyzstan. Abdis Ata, he has been playing week in, week out, starting games every single game, and they are, at the top. They are fighting for the top of that league. This week he scored his first goal for them. He scored a goal. They won 3-0. He scored one and kept a clean lead. That is Mohamed Sane. Mohamed Sane, right back. Right back is a problem position. The good thing is we always have one available. We always have at least one right back available. But the reality is we don't have a lot of options at right back, right? If you look at it in Gambia, we have 3. These are the 3 players who have been, rotating in that right back position. That is Sedi Janko, Mohamed Sane, and now Joseph Cisse. Joseph Cisse has been pretty consistent since he came into the team. That has not been the case with his club. Like, the consistency he's showing for the national team has not been the same as what he's doing at his club. But whenever he's in the national team, the rest assured that he will give you a consistent performance every single time. But there is no understudy for him. In the past, who we have was Dudu Gay, and with all due respect to him, I think people were not impressed when we saw him in the national team, and now he's playing for a newly promoted team in Norway, and he's not even playing there now. He cannot even start in that team. So the reality is, I don't think he is good enough to be a national team. In the national team, he has not done enough to show us that he should be in the national team. That is Dudu Gay, which means we are short of right backs. And Mohamed Salah has been also a very good player for the national team whenever he is available. So seeing him playing again with his new club and starting games week in, week out, keeping the clean sheets, scoring goals now, I think that's a wonderful thing to see as well. Next we have Abdoulaye Mane. I think he's been one of the most informed Gambian players of late. He was the Jollof Football Bantaba Player of the Month for April, for the wonderful month that he has. And in June and in May, he's not even slowing down. He's not slowing down. This week he scored a brilliant goal. Last week he put in a wonderful assist for his teammate. And yesterday they won the game 1-0. And he was the one who scored the goal. And now Mile are back at the top of the Swedish league. After 7 games, something like that, what's his name? Abdoulaye Mane has 6 goals so far, which put him second in the Golden Boot race in the Swedish league. Paumar Babu in Bangladesh, he scored. Issa Jallo also for Fortis. They both scored in that 2-1 win for Fortis. Dembo Dabo, after he scored in last week, he also bagged another one this week. Al Husseini Gassama, Emirates club in UAE. His club has been struggling for a while, but he was back on the score sheet this week. They drew after losing many games in a row. And then you have Ibrahim Okoli too scored after coming back from his injury. He scored last week, and then this week he put in a brilliant assist in their 6-2 win over Basel. Basel, of course, they are the champions of the Swiss league. So they played against Young Boys. Young Boys are fighting to get into another, European spot again. There is still there is still a chance for them to make it. They had a very slow start to the season this year, but I think they are coming back in the second half of the season, but very, very well. And if you look, Grasshoppers also, they were struggling. They lost this week. They had the final game to go. They are currently in the relegation spot, the relegation playoff spot. It's yeah, they are second to last. I'm sure they have one more game to go. They will really need to level up there, win that one to stay in the Swiss league. Adama has slowed down a bit after since getting his suspension. Um, yeah, last week he got an assist though. Then they won. I think it was it 5-0, and he got the assist. He got an assist in that game. Yes. Um. Bojang got his first start for Odets. He got his first start after scoring a goal in his man of the match performance in the last game. He scored this time around, he started this time around, but he did not finish the game. He was taken off at 0-0. The game ended in a 1-1 draw, something like that. James also played that game. I think this is the first time that the pair have started together. I think they have played together in this year because last time when I was calling, James was on the pitch. But this is the first time the two Gambians started together for Odense. Odense, they are going up to the Danish First Division. And Yaya Boyan, with coming through their ranks after joining them at a very young age, going to do the academy and now breaking through into the first team. I think that is a welcome one because defense is always my worry for Gambia. I don't have any problem when it comes to attackers personally because I think we have a lot of good attacking players, but defensively, I'm like there is not many players who establish themselves, and those who established themselves in the past, somebody like Omar Koli, they are now reaching the end of their career. Omar Koli could not play any game he have not played a game since he came back, I think, from the international break. He has been either on the bench or not available for them for selection. So yeah, he's not somebody we can rely on for a long time. So now we have to look to the future who are coming through. But that is the thing. There is no defender there who is, saying like this spot is mine, and I'm gonna own it. Yes, Lion came in, had a very good start to his career for the national team, but then the last international break was not great. His club are struggling KFUM right now in the Norwegian league. They have not started the season very well, and then you look at James Gomez. There was a time he lost his spot in the Orange team, and these are the understudies to Omar Colley. These are the direct understudies to Omar Colley, and if you go a little bit lower, um, you will see players like what's it, Elijah Sands, Moses Jaju, who scored last week. They like what's the name of the guy again? Musa Jata. Those kids. They have not even they have not breakthrough into the squad yet, and they are not really showing the same thing at their club level. Idrissa Cisse, he moved to Jordan or something like that. Yeah, defensively, we are not producing enough. We are not convincing. We are not convincing enough. So if you see these young players like Bojang coming through, I think it's something that we should welcome. We should welcome. Yeah. Um. Yeah, Mahmoud Bayo. Yeah, of course, people are talking about his imminent move to Besiktas. Besiktas are very much interested in him, as follow those people who follow the transfers. People like 44 journalists, they are on top of every transfer. I think when it comes to transfer in Gambia transfer news, I don't think anybody dedicate more time to that than 44 journalists. So that's why I basically rely on him because he loves doing that and he does it very well. He get his sources right, and then he gets his information right. And he's saying that this could be the final game for Bamba Bajo at DAC. Who knows? Who knows? It like I think I said it before that I think he has outgrown this team. He has outgrown this league. That is the Slovakian league. He did exceptionally well with Port Brezova, moved to the moved to DAC, and then he continued to dominate playing regular minutes. Like for say, only Iwo Adams has played more minutes of any Gambian midfielder throughout the year than Mahmoud Bajo. He's a regular starter there. He play week in, week out, every single game he starts for them. And he puts in consistent performance every single time. The league seems like ordinary for him now. And I think it's time for him to take the next step in his career. Yeah, he's such an important player for Gambia. And I would love to see him, move into a better league. The Turkish league is another step. It's another good step for him to take before moving into maybe the top five leagues of the world. But it will be a wonderful move. Besiktas is not a bad. It's not a bad thing. Of course, Omar Colley was there. Did a great job for them. And they went to PAOK. That move I will say was the best ones in terms of playing and career wise. But Besiktas is a good team. They compete in Europe. They have good coach. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is currently their coach right now. Maybe some Manchester United fans will not agree with me, but I think he's a decent coach. So I think he can develop further at Besiktas and increase his status as a player. That is Mahmoud Bajo. Aliou Jata also he kept a clean sheet. My boy Omar Choi in Luxembourg. That is another interesting league going on. It's a league that you should check. At least monitor, even if you don't have a chance to watch it, monitor it. It's very interesting. They are getting into the final week of the season this week. Luxembourg City. That's where Omar Choi, goalkeeper, Gambian goalkeeper, former Gambian under 17, play for. They are in second division. Currently, they are sitting fifth in the second division, but they are level on points with the team on fourth. This week, they won 1-0 against the champions, 1-0. And so they are now just outside the promotion spot by virtue of goal difference. So the team ahead of them is only ahead of them by a goal difference. So they are hoping for them to drop points in the final game of the season, and then Luxembourg City, if they win and that team drop points, then Luxembourg City ends up in the top four. And being in the top four gives you the opportunity to play in the playoffs. And if you make it through the playoffs, you can be in the first top tier of the Luxembourg League. Choi has been having a really decent run of form. They have won every single game in this month. That is the last 3 games they played. They won everyone. And also they kept a couple of clean sheets. Yes, they kept a couple of clean sheets. Yeah, Ajigu. Yeah, you're talking about Abubakar Sidi Kinte. I know the name, but I don't think they monitor Nako with Bini. But Momodu Jata, that is Sare Juba. This week he was not in action. He was not even in their squad. I don't know for what reason. He was not involved. Momodu Jata. Yeah. And another player, Yakuba Minte Brighton. Yeah, Brighton was playing against my club this week, Liverpool. If you know me, you know that I'm a big Liverpool fan, right? I'm a big Liverpool fan. You can see. Even my Costa is Liverpool. Even that there is Liverpool Salah. You look at my books there, you will see club or something like that, Liverpool books and and all whatnot. So I'm a big Liverpool fan. For those who don't know, so this weekend Yankoba was playing against Liverpool and Brighton won. I'm happy. I'm happy for Brighton to win that one because of course Liverpool have already wrapped up the Premier League title. They are already on the beach, as so do the fans. Myself, to be honest, I don't even really watch the games. But yeah, I was happy to see my boy Yankoba playing against them, against Liverpool. That was a good one. I think this is the first time he faced Liverpool and facing his former club because the last 2 times Brighton played Liverpool 2 times earlier in the season, the League Cup and also in the league, the first leg at Anfield. Both legs Jaguar was not available. I think that was the time he got his hamstring injury or something, so he missed both games against Liverpool earlier in the season. So this was the first time he get to play Liverpool, and Brighton won. So he has a very good record against big teams this season. If I'm not wrong, I think every single game that he started for Brighton against the bigger clubs, they did not lose it. I might be wrong in that. They might lose 1 or 2, but I cannot remember them losing I think Chelsea in the first leg, and that one I think he came off the bench. So, but the games that he started for Brighton against the big boys, that is Tottenham, Manchester United, Liverpool, um, Liverpool, and Chelsea, Arsenal. Arsenal they drew twice, right? The games he started, they win, and they also won against Chelsea in the FA Cup, right? Yeah, won Chelsea in the second leg of the of the league as well. So he has a great record against the big boys. And his scoring record against the big boys too is really really good. That he has to replicate, and against the smaller teams in the league, the teams that you are expected to beat, the Leicesters, the Ipswich, the Southampton, those games, he should try to up his numbers. But nonetheless, he has had a wonderful, wonderful season. And there is always room for improvement. This is his first season in the Premier League, toughest league in the world. He already amassed 10 goal involvement. How many starts? He has played, I think, about 30 games, 10 goal involvement, one goal every three games. It can improve, it can get better. But you can look at the players that went through this league. They never had it in their own way. Gamballers, you see Gamballers, they have put in a very wonderful post. You can check their page on Instagram. They were just highlighting some players that had less goals than Yanko Minte in their first season in the Premier League. And then if you look at the list of names, you will be surprised. Oh, these players, they really did not, do that well in their first season in the Premier League. And the names include Cristiano Ronaldo, his first season, I think 4 goals he scored in the Premier League, something like that. Mohamed Salah in his first season in the Premier League, 2 goals he scored. Kevin De Bruyne, I don't know, but he did not score more than 5 goals in his first season in the Premier League. So you are looking at these big name players struggling in the first year in the Premier League. So, but we Gambians, we expect young community to come to the Premier League, and then already he is the best player in the league. It does not work that way. I think he has a very good time in the Premier League. He has achieved things that I was not expecting him to achieve. For example, gaining nomination for Player of the Month in the Premier League, which is a very competitive thing to do. I can remember that month I made a video about him being the best when it comes to underlying numbers. As per WhoScore, he had the highest rating of WhoScore for a particular month in the Premier League. That was not something I expected from him. But yes, there were some, inconsistencies, which is normal for a young player coming into the Premier League to have inconsistency. But if you look at his season as a whole, if you look at Brighton, their season as a whole, it has been up and down. They have a young manager as well, the youngest manager the Premier League has ever seen, if I'm not wrong. So it's a season of up and down for Brighton. And that is similar to Yanko Aminte. He could not get that consistency that he got in the second half of last season. But again, this experience will only make him better. Just like it made other players better. This is his first season. Let's cut him a slack. I think he has had a wonderful first season in the Premier League. I have nothing else, or nothing to say about. Like, the inconsistency is something I expected for a player like him. It's something you expected. But we are expecting too much as Gambians. There have been some critics about this things happening here and there, things not working for him. But for me personally, if you ask me, I am happy with the first season that he has in the Premier League. Will I be happy if he have the same season next season and then have it the following? No, because this season was the learning curve, was the season where he understand the league, adapt to the league, and then he adapted well. He did not start it. He started well, very well with Brighton, and then everything went down, and then he went up again, and then everything started to stabilize. It's been a good year for him. So let's cut the boy a slack. Achigo, you mentioned another defender, Momoduba. Yeah. I actually, if you check my post, I posted him. He helped his club, East Field 5, like something like that. They gained promotion to the Scottish League One. That is, they are going to face teams in Inverness, where we have Musa Dibaga, the recently called up Gambian goalkeeper. So they're going to be playing in the same league, that is League One. They went through the playoffs, and Momodu Lama has been a major part of that. Playing right back for them sometimes, playing center back, playing through the pin with injury, all that. Because I was listening to his interviews recently, and he was playing through the pain just to help his club to stay to gain that promotion, and they did that. Um, he's have a decent season. Have a decent season, and let's see how he do in League One. Um, League Two is like the fourth tier of the Scottish League. So now he's going to the third tier. That is where Musa Debaga is. Let's see how he does there. Of course, again, similar to what I was talking about. I mean, he's a young player who just moved to Scotland. You have never somebody who has never played outside the Gambia and then go there and have an impact in his first season as a defender. So it's not bad for him. And to put the icing on the cake, they are promoted to the Scottish League One. So that's a good thing. Yeah, Abubakar Bari. This one is coming to an end. Austria is coming to an end, and I think Storm Graz have won the title. Storm Graz, that is where we have Jata, CD Jata, the Swedish-born Gambian, playing, but currently he's injured. He has not played for a month or so. He has been nursing an injury, but his club has won the league back to back. They won it last year with the cup. This year they win the league again. Austria Vienna had a chance to win the league because when they get into the playoff, they beat Storm Graz home and away, and then they were top like momentarily in a very short period of time. But they could not handle the pressure, and they slipped up. I think they lost 2 games in their last 3 games, but this week they won, and they had a lifeline because the team that was occupying second spot in the Austrian league, they did not win this weekend, which means Austria Vienna, who were fourth or third, they are now back into second. In Austria, 2 teams go into the Champions League, so first and second will go into the Champions League. So Austria Vienna, they were fighting, they were competing to be number 1, to be the champions. Just 2-3 weeks ago they were top of the league, and all of a sudden they were out of the top, and they were in third or fourth place, with Salzburg coming in, Salzburg beating them. So it would have been a huge disaster after the season that they have had. That is Austria Vienna. After the season that they have had, after the season Abubakar Bari, the brother of Hamza Bari, have had with them. It would have been really sad it would be really sad still, because there is still 1 game to go. It would be sad if they don't make it to the Champions League, at least the Champions League. If they don't win the league, it's okay. Yeah, that has already gone past them. But currently they are in second place. All they need in the final game is win. If they win their final league game of the season, they are going into the Champions League. And in Austria, there is no qualification round. So the first 2 teams that qualify, that the teams that finish first and second, they go straight into the Champions League group stage. So if they win next game, it means Abubakar Bari will be in the Champions League next season, which will be, a remarkable 1 year for him, because like within this year, what happened with, for that kid has been immense, because last year he was playing in Israel, in second division or something like that in Israel, and Austria signed him out of nowhere, and then immediately, he showed his impact. He became a number 1 player, number 1 choice in that team, and all of a sudden we are talking about him for the Gambia national team, and that's when he made his debut for the national team as well. I remember when Johnny called him for the first time, he was not ready to come, and then they had to give him time to prepare, and then later, he accepted the call and had a huge made a good combo with Mahmoud Bayo in that midfield. Everybody was happy with what they saw from him in the first few games of the season. Yeah, so it will be really, really good to see him go into the Champions League. I'm wishing that they claim that, or they win that second spot and go to the Champions League straight away. Another player, Seni Sanyang, another player who will be playing in Europe next season is Seni Sanyang. Seni Sanyang, I have been critical of his move to Bulgaria. I'm not shying away from that. I've been critical for the fact that that country have some rules when it comes to international players, and that has really affected his playing time at the club. Recently, it has been different. for the last 3 games. He started. He started the last 3 games. This week they won again 2-1. He scored, I think, 2 goals in the last 4 games. Like, his life is all nice again, and they are in the playoffs for Europa Conference League qualifiers. They are at the top of that by margin with 1 game to spare. So they are going into the Europa Conference League next season. So, which is also another great achievement for somebody like Seni. But I'm still worried for his time in Austria, in Bulgaria. I feel he's playing right now because maybe somebody is injured or somebody is not available. They don't have a left back or something like that. I don't know the details, but this is my feeling about it. Um, because you cannot not use this player for the whole season, and then all of a sudden he becomes an important player during the playoff stage. It must be due to an injury or something else. So, but nonetheless, he has been vindicated for his selection. He has been really good. He has been really good since coming back into the team. Helped the team to 3 or 4 consecutive wins and a couple of clean sheets. Also scoring a couple of goals as well. So, yeah, saying this, yeah, Ajiku, you are mentioning another player that is Jesper Cisse. Jesper Cisse, yeah, he was playing yesterday against Sirius. That is not coping against Sirius. Yaya Kali also playing that one. They won the game 2-1. Yeah. They have been, a mix season, I would say, from Jesper Cisse and Yaya Kali. People will not say this, but for me, I think it has been a mix season. He's in and out of the team. Sometimes they are out of the team, and he's playing different positions in the team. Like, he's on the edge of being that important player for the team. I don't feel he is that player where you will say, like, every single game he will play week in, week out, he's the key player for this team. I don't think he is at that level for not copying. But he's getting minutes. He's getting minutes. And also he's playing in different positions. Sometimes you see him playing up top, sometimes see him playing in defense, sometimes you see him playing in the midfield, sometimes we see him playing in the wing. So he has not been occupying just one. Even left back, he played. Left back at Yaya Kali's place, he played there. It's good that he's versatile, but that does not help him settle into the team. This is my position, and this is what where I'm gonna be for the long term. That is not there, but he is playing, and he's also a player for the present and for the future. Of course, his brother is doing a great job. He was in the squad before his brother, but he's never made his debut. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I think those were the players I had to discuss. Any other thoughts, or if you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section. Yeah. But hopefully this Sunday we'll be back for the Gambia weekend, for the Gambia football show. And hopefully I will have the women football, the 2 parties that are involved in the running for the Women Football Association. I will have them sometime soon, and then try to know their agendas and their development plans for Gambia women football. They are trying to run the association. They have an elective congress, and I want to hear what they have to say. Yeah. Yes, guys, if you don't have any comments, I think I would call it a day. And like I always do on Tuesdays, I'm usually happy to be here to talk about the weekend performance of Gambian players. Ajigo, thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for the comments. I really appreciate it. Yeah. But until I come your way again, guys, I will say goodbye and good day. Doing it, Jeff.